How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. As on today's episode, we will be recapping a great victory by the Kansas City Chiefs. All in all, though they did get off to a very slow start, and it almost seemed like it was going to be a low-scoring affair, turned into another reason why the Kansas City Chiefs offense is still viewed as one of the best offenses in the National Football League, pushing their winning ways to 3 games straight now, going into a Week 9 battle on the road for the first time in a few weeks against the Buffalo Bills, a team that always has given them issues in the regular season. But all in all, this was a statement victory to go into Week 9 with. Like I said, it was slow out of the gates. Going into halftime, it was a 7-7 game, but by the end of the game, as you all know, the Kansas City Chiefs offense had an explosion in the second half, pushing the final line score to 28-7. Also keep in mind that this is the 5th straight game. Yes, I counted the five-time little Booker 2 reference for you. If anyone is familiar with the old WWE and all that, 5 straight games of 28 or more points put up for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is the first time they have done so, I believe, since 2019. It is very impressive. This is an offense that really no one thought that this would be at this point in the season. Seeing how this way that they started off the season 0-2, everyone lost confidence in the Kansas City Chiefs. Then turning this around, it's almost like that the veteran leadership was able to find a way to keep this franchise afloat until they got players back healthy, i.e., Xavier Worthy, who got injured, came back, but then he was still dealing with a little bit of an injury. Rashee Rice came back in week 7 against the Las Vegas Raiders, a shutout victory in that week. And now this feels like a Super Bowl contending team once again, where everyone thought, oh, the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty has fallen apart. You just got to go back and watch these past 3 games. Even beforehand, they were playing very competitive games, but it just looks like they are all in sync, relatively healthy on both the offense and the defensive side. And before we even get into the game stat statistics and all that, I just want to break down and give kudos and flowers where it is deserved to the Kansas City Chiefs defense. None of this offensive powerhouse explosive game would have been without the defense keeping them in the game. They were able to allow Patrick Mahomes and the rest of his offensive assets to find a way to create plays down the field and do so without feeling the pressure of being behind. This is something that defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has done a great job over the years. And when you look at this paper of the spreadsheet, of the depth chart, man, this Kansas City Chiefs defense is doing a tremendous job with the guys that they've got. And even though that they lost some of their veterans who helped them get to a Super Bowl last season, I really do think that they're just picking up right where they left off. This team looks very, very, very good. And, going in, they have a lot of momentum right before week 9. And then after they go into a bye week, it's a good time to have it. Hopefully they were able to have some winning ways down the line as well. But let's dive into some statistics. As I said, going into this game or into the half, it was a 7-7 tie, but then Kansas City really broke through, scoring 14 in the third and another touchdown in the fourth, pushing to 28 points. Patrick Mahomes' first half was very quiet, yet he finished with 299 yards, all purpose. Insane. I think that's his passing yards, rather, not all purpose. Excuse me. Starting off the game with 0 and 2 in interceptions, 2 for 2 rather, 2 interceptions, 3 touchdowns ended 0 with no extra interceptions added. I think that all in all, Patrick Mahomes is just continually proving why he is a a man to be feared. And I know myself is similar to the rest of the world, those who I also have spoken to going into this season. They remember people were counting out Patrick Mahomes, and Mahomes has been able to really shut up everybody. Going into this game, he had 1,131 passing yards, averaging 282 yards per game. Obviously, he passed that. 11 touchdowns and 1 interception. So now he is bumped up to 14 touchdowns in his last 5 games and 3 interceptions. Pretty good. I would take that all day. And Mahomes is also an asset with his ground game as well. But all in all, this game circulates and wouldn't have been as effective if it wasn't for Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice. Though Travis Kelce was the problem when it came to Mahomes' second interception of the game, he really made up for it. In 6 receptions, 8 targets, he finished with 99 receiving yards. Really a Travis Kelce performance of the past turned into something very impressive. Also, Rashee Rice, he scored a touchdown as well. Went a perfect 9 for 9. I'm not going to do the whole Booker T reference this time, but you get the picture. 9 out of 9, perfect. 93 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. Xavier Worthy also showed off as well. 5 receptions, 7 targets, and 53 receiving yards. I would still like to see a little bit more inclusion of like Noah Gray and all that. But other than that, I think that this is the game plan that they've got to stick with because it's been working. Hollywood Brown had 1 target, no receptions, and still they were all in all impressive. I loved the way that the offense was explosive in the second half, and it really came from some of those players that you're expecting to have a good performance. But also on the other side of the football, the defense once again was tremendous. They did bring down the Commanders quarterback twice, George Karlaftis and Mike Dana. Great game from both of them. A lot of passes defended, 3 to be exact, in a total amount of tackles of 64. Jamari Connor, once again, 10 total tackles. This defense, if they continuously play this way going forward into a really big, arguably the biggest game of the Kansas City Chiefs regular season thus far against the Buffalo Bills, I think that if the defense can continue to do so the way that they've been playing, it's going to be a hard team to beat. All in all, this team is flowing on all cylinders. I know I could say it multiple different times in multiple different ways, but no way, shape, or form is this Kansas City Chiefs team gone away without a fight, and they've come back with more than I think anyone was really expecting them this season, further proving that it's difficult to count out the Kansas City Chiefs until otherwise proven. They are still the AFC team to beat. And like I said on Twitter, X, which you can follow me over at Dom Minchella, this Kansas City Chiefs team might be good until they don't want to be good anymore. All in all, as always, folks, be sure, like I said, you follow me over on X at Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Kansas City Chiefs while we go into week 9 and having all the recap from weeks 1 through 8. Be sure you also follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI. Everything is posted there because the Kansas City Chiefs on SI is the place to get your Kansas City Chiefs news. As always, folks, remember, be kind to one another, and I will see you tomorrow.